Did you know that over 6 million Canadian seniors rely on government pensions as their main source of income? And starting in 2026, that income may stop growing forever. Imagine waking up one day to find out that while groceries, rent, and medication keep getting more expensive, your monthly pension stays exactly the same. No increase. No adjustment. Not next year. Not ever. That's the reality many retirees could be facing under a newly passed law that will permanently freeze certain senior pension payments. Now think about this. Inflation in Canada has jumped dramatically over the past few years, with food prices and housing costs rising faster than most incomes. For seniors living on fixed budgets, even a small increase in expenses can mean choosing between heating and eating. What happens when that pressure lasts not just for 1 year, but for decades? Today, we're breaking down the 10 powerful ways this pension freeze could change retirement life across Canada and what it truly means for you or your loved ones. Number 1. Loss of purchasing power. Right now, many seniors are already stretching every dollar carefully, but a permanent pension freeze would quietly shrink what that dollar can actually buy. When income stays the same and prices rise year after year, the result is a steady erosion of purchasing power. Groceries that once cost $150 a week can easily climb to $200 or more. Utility bills, property taxes, transportation, and everyday essentials rarely stay flat. Over time, even small annual inflation rates compound, meaning that 5 or 10 years from now, that same pension payment could cover significantly less than it does today. What looks manageable in 2026 could feel tight and restrictive by 2030. Historically, pensions have included cost of living adjustments specifically to protect retirees from inflation. Without those adjustments, seniors effectively take a pay cut every single year inflation rises. Research consistently shows that older adults spend a larger portion of their income on necessities like food, housing, and healthcare, areas that tend to inflate faster than average. This makes a freeze especially concerning. Unlike working Canadians, retirees cannot simply ask for a raise or work extra hours easily to offset rising costs. Over the long term, the real danger is gradual financial strain. Seniors may begin cutting back on quality food, delaying home repairs, or skipping social activities to stay within budget. The change won't happen overnight, but it will build slowly, year after year, tightening financial flexibility. That silent squeeze is what makes a pension freeze so powerful and potentially damaging. If this impacts you or someone you love, tell us in the comments how rising prices have already affected your budget. And please subscribe. It takes one click, and your support helps us keep creating content that matters. Number 2. Rising healthcare costs. As people age, healthcare naturally becomes a bigger part of monthly spending, and that's where a pension freeze could hit hardest. Prescription medications, dental care, vision services, mobility aids, and specialist appointments are not optional expenses for many seniors. Even with provincial healthcare coverage, there are still co-payments, private services, and treatments that are not fully covered. When pension income remains frozen while medical costs steadily rise, seniors may feel forced to make difficult decisions about their own health just to stay within budget. At the same time, healthcare inflation has historically grown faster than general inflation. Studies across Canada and other developed countries show that medical services, prescription drugs, and long-term care expenses tend to increase year after year. For retirees living on fixed incomes, this creates a dangerous imbalance. A pension that does not adjust for cost of living increases means each new medical bill consumes a larger share of monthly income. What was once a manageable pharmacy visit could gradually turn into a serious financial burden. Over the years, this growing gap between income and medical expenses can affect overall well-being. Seniors might delay checkups, skip recommended treatments, or ration medication to save money. These short-term savings can lead to long-term health complications, which may ultimately cost even more. The emotional toll of worrying about affording necessary care can also increase stress and anxiety, further affecting health outcomes. A frozen pension does not just impact finances. It can quietly shape physical and mental health in powerful ways. Have healthcare costs gone up for you or someone in your family recently? Share your experience below, and please subscribe. It's one click, and your support keeps this important information coming. Number 3. Housing instability. For many seniors, housing is the single largest monthly expense, and a pension freeze could make that burden heavier each year. Whether renting or owning, housing costs rarely stay the same. Rent increases, property taxes rise, condo fees go up, and maintenance expenses never truly disappear. If pension payments remain fixed while these costs climb, seniors may find that a growing portion of their income is swallowed by simply keeping a roof over their heads. What once felt stable can slowly become uncertain. Meanwhile, rental markets across many parts of Canada have seen steady increases over the past decade. Even modest annual rent hikes compound over time, placing pressure on retirees who depend on predictable income. Homeowners are not immune either. Repairs such as roof replacements, plumbing issues, or heating system upgrades can cost thousands of dollars unexpectedly. With no increase in pension income to absorb these rising costs, seniors may be forced to dip into savings much faster than planned or consider downsizing earlier than expected. Over time, this financial strain can lead to difficult choices. Some seniors may move to smaller homes, relocate farther from family, or transition into shared living arrangements to cut costs. While downsizing can be practical, doing it out of financial pressure rather than choice can feel stressful and unsettling. Housing stability is closely tied to emotional security, community connection, and overall well-being. A permanent pension freeze could gradually weaken that sense of stability, especially for those already living close to the edge financially. Are housing costs rising where you live? Tell us in the comments how it's affecting your retirement plans, and please subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating content that truly matters. Number 4. Growing senior debt. Increasingly, more seniors are carrying debt into retirement, and a pension freeze could quietly make that situation worse. Many retirees already rely on credit cards to cover unexpected expenses, home repairs, or even everyday essentials when budgets fall short. If pension income stops growing while the cost of living continues to rise, some seniors may turn to borrowing not for luxury, but for survival. What starts as a small balance can slowly become a long-term financial burden. Over the past decade, data has shown a steady rise in debt levels among older Canadians, particularly credit card balances and lines of credit. Unlike working adults, retirees often have limited ways to increase their income to pay off what they owe. Interest rates on credit cards can be extremely high, meaning balances grow quickly if only minimum payments are made. When pensions are frozen, there is no built-in financial cushion to offset those rising interest charges. Each month, more of a senior's fixed income may go towards servicing debt instead of covering basic needs. Eventually, this cycle can create serious financial stress. Seniors may deplete savings, postpone necessary expenses, or even risk damaging their credit scores. The emotional impact of carrying debt in retirement can also weigh heavily, affecting mental well-being and family relationships. Retirement is meant to bring stability and peace of mind, not mounting financial pressure. A permanent pension freeze could unintentionally push more seniors into relying on debt just to maintain their standard of living. Have you noticed more seniors struggling with debt in your community? Share your thoughts below, and please subscribe. It's one simple click that helps us continue bringing you important updates like this. Number 5. Delayed retirement plans. For Canadians who are close to retirement, a permanent pension freeze could completely change the timeline they've worked toward for decades. Many near retirees calculate their future based on the expectation that pension income will adjust over time to match rising living costs. If those increases disappear in 2026, the math suddenly looks very different. What once seemed like a comfortable retirement at age 65 may now require working until 67, 70, or even longer just to maintain financial stability. Beyond the numbers, there is a personal cost to delaying retirement. Many older workers already face physical strain, especially in demanding jobs such as construction, healthcare support, retail, or transportation. Continuing to work longer may not simply be a financial decision, it may be a health challenge. Studies show that while staying active can benefit mental sharpness, prolonged work under financial stress can increase fatigue and anxiety. A pension freeze could force some seniors to keep working not because they want to, but because they feel they have no choice. Over time, delayed retirement also impacts family life and long-term plans. Grandparents may postpone travel, caregiving roles, or personal goals they had saved for years to enjoy. The emotional expectation of finally slowing down after decades of work may be replaced by uncertainty. Retirement planning depends heavily on predictability, and when that predictability changes, it reshapes life decisions in powerful ways. A frozen pension does not just affect current retirees, it influences the dreams of those about to enter that stage of life. If you're approaching retirement, would this change your plans? Tell us in the comments, and please subscribe. It takes one click and helps us keep delivering valuable updates like this. Number 6. Greater dependence on family. For many seniors, independence is one of the most valued parts of retirement. After decades of working, raising families, and contributing to their communities, the goal is often simple: to stand on their own financially. However, a permanent pension freeze could gradually shift that balance. As living costs rise and income remains fixed, some seniors may find themselves turning to their children or relatives for financial help. What begins as occasional assistance with groceries or utility bills could slowly become ongoing support. Across Canada, multi-generational financial support is already becoming more common. Adult children are helping aging parents with housing costs, medical expenses, or unexpected emergencies. If pension income stops growing while inflation continues, this trend may accelerate. Families could feel added pressure, especially as many middle-aged Canadians are already supporting both children and parents at the same time. This creates what economists often call the sandwich generation, where financial responsibility stretches in multiple directions. Over time, increased dependence can affect more than finances. It may influence family dynamics, create feelings of guilt or stress, and challenge a senior's sense of autonomy. While many families willingly help out of love and respect, relying on others for basic needs can be emotionally difficult for retirees who worked hard to avoid exactly that situation. A pension freeze does not just impact bank accounts. It can quietly reshape relationships and redefine what independence looks like in retirement. Would you feel comfortable asking family for financial help if needed? Share your thoughts below, and please subscribe. It's one simple click that helps us continue creating content that matters. Number 7. Reduced quality of life. For many seniors, retirement is meant to be a time of enjoyment, freedom, and finally focusing on the things they love. However, a permanent pension freeze could slowly chip away at that lifestyle. When income remains fixed and expenses keep rising, discretionary spending is often the first thing to go. Dining out occasionally, traveling to see family, participating in hobbies, or joining community events may start to feel like luxuries instead of normal parts of life. Over time, these small sacrifices can add up to a noticeably reduced quality of life. Beyond financial limits, there is a deeper emotional impact. Social activities, hobbies, and outings are not just entertainment. They play a major role in mental and emotional health. Research consistently shows that social engagement helps reduce feelings of isolation and lowers the risk of depression in older adults. If seniors begin cutting back on these experiences to save money, they may unintentionally reduce their social interaction and overall happiness. A frozen pension can quietly affect not just what seniors can afford, but how connected and fulfilled they feel. Over the long term, this gradual lifestyle adjustment can reshape retirement expectations. Instead of exploring new interests or enjoying well-earned leisure time, some seniors may focus primarily on managing bills and stretching every dollar. That shift from freedom to constant budgeting can change how retirement feels day to day. Financial stability is closely tied to emotional well-being, and when one becomes uncertain, the other often follows. Have rising costs forced you to cut back on activities you once enjoyed? Share your story below, and please subscribe. It's one click that helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Number 8. Higher risk of poverty. Across Canada, thousands of seniors already live close to the poverty line, and a permanent pension freeze could push even more into financial hardship. While pensions provide a critical safety net, they are often modest to begin with. When that income stops increasing but food, utilities, transportation, and insurance costs continue to rise, the gap between income and expenses widens every year. What may seem manageable today could become overwhelming 5 or 10 years down the road. According to national data trends, single seniors, especially women and those living alone, are among the most financially vulnerable groups. Many rely heavily on government benefits as their primary income source. Without cost of living adjustments, even small increases in everyday expenses can force difficult choices. Seniors might reduce grocery quality, skip heating during colder months, or delay paying certain bills just to stay afloat. Poverty in retirement is not always sudden. It often creeps in gradually as fixed incomes fail to keep pace with real-world costs. Over time, the consequences extend beyond finances. Financial insecurity is closely linked to stress, declining health, and reduced independence. Seniors facing poverty are more likely to depend on community food programs, family assistance, or subsidized housing. While support systems exist, they are not always easy to access or sufficient to meet growing demand. A frozen pension may not create poverty overnight, but increases the risk year after year, particularly for those already living on tight margins. Do you think a pension freeze could increase senior poverty in your community? Share your thoughts below, and please subscribe. It's one simple click that helps us continue producing important content like this. Number 9. Impact on local economies. When we think about pensions, we often focus only on individual retirees, but the effects don't stop there. Seniors are a powerful part of Canada's local economy. They spend money at neighborhood grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants, service providers, and small family-owned businesses. If millions of seniors suddenly face frozen incomes while prices keep rising, their spending habits will naturally change. And when spending slows down, local businesses begin to feel it. Consider how consistent senior spending supports communities year-round. Unlike seasonal workers or fluctuating industries, retirees provide steady consumer activity. However, if purchasing power declines, discretionary spending is usually the first to shrink. Fewer restaurant visits, delayed home renovations, reduced travel, and smaller holiday shopping budgets all add up. Small businesses, especially in communities with aging populations, could experience slower growth or even closures. Economic studies show that when large demographic groups tighten spending, ripple effects move quickly through local economies. Over time, reduced senior spending can influence job markets and community services. Businesses may hire fewer workers or reduce hours. Municipal tax revenue from local commerce may slow, affecting public programs and infrastructure improvements. This means a pension freeze doesn't just impact retirees, it can subtly reshape entire neighborhoods. Retirement income plays a larger role in economic stability than many people realize, and when that stability weakens, communities feel the difference. Do you think reduced senior spending could affect businesses in your area? Share your perspective in the comments, and please subscribe. It's one click that helps us continue bringing you in-depth coverage on issues that matter. Number 10. Financial anxiety and mental strain. Beyond dollars and cents, one of the most serious consequences of a permanent pension freeze is the psychological toll it can take on seniors. Retirement is supposed to provide a sense of stability after decades of hard work. However, when income is locked in place and expenses continue rising, uncertainty begins to grow. Worrying about whether savings will last, whether bills can be paid comfortably, or whether unexpected costs can be handled creates ongoing stress. Over time, that stress can quietly affect sleep, mood, and overall well-being. Research consistently shows a strong link between financial insecurity and mental health challenges, particularly among older adults. Persistent money worries can increase the risk of anxiety and depression. Seniors living on fixed incomes may feel a loss of control, especially if they see their purchasing power shrinking year after year. Unlike working adults, retirees often have limited opportunities to increase income, which can intensify feelings of helplessness. The emotional impact of watching expenses rise while income stays frozen can weigh heavily on confidence and peace of mind. In the long run, chronic financial anxiety can influence physical health as well. Stress hormones, when elevated over time, are associated with heart issues, weakened immunity, and other health complications. Retirement should be about enjoying family, hobbies, and personal time, not constant financial worry. A pension freeze may seem like a policy decision on paper, but for many seniors, it could translate into daily mental strain that affects quality of life in profound ways. Would a frozen pension cause you financial stress? Share your honest thoughts below, and please subscribe. It's one click that helps us continue producing meaningful content for our community. As we discussed today, a permanent pension freeze is not just a small policy adjustment. It has the potential to reshape retirement for millions of Canadians. From the steady loss of purchasing power to rising healthcare costs, housing pressure, growing debt, delayed retirement, reduced quality of life, and even increased mental strain, the ripple effects are wide and deeply personal. What makes this issue especially concerning is that the impact may not be immediate or dramatic at first. Instead, it could unfold slowly, year after year, quietly tightening financial flexibility for seniors who depend on predictable income the most. Retirement is built on stability. For decades, Canadians work, save, and plan with the expectation that their income in later years will at least keep pace with the cost of living. When that expectation changes, it forces difficult conversations and hard decisions. Seniors may need to rethink budgets, explore additional support programs, or adjust long-term plans. Families may also need to prepare for how this could affect parents and grandparents in the years ahead. Staying informed, reviewing financial plans early, and understanding available benefits will be more important than ever. Ultimately, this conversation is about more than numbers. It's about dignity, independence, and peace of mind in retirement. Policies may change, but preparation and awareness can make a powerful difference. The key question now is, how will Canadians respond, and what steps can be taken to protect financial security moving forward? Now we want to hear from you. How would a pension freeze impact your retirement plans? Share your thoughts below, watch our previous video for deeper insights, and please support us by subscribing. It's just one click, and it helps us keep bringing you well-researched content that truly matters.